All right, guys, we're back with some Irish slang. A lot of you guys seem to like it, so we're gonna be doing it again. And we have to thank Catherine for this one, aka Starlight Sky. Thank you so much. She sent us a DM on Instagram. You guys can hit us up on Instagram if you have any cool suggestions. It's Joey and Lauren 1 on Instagram. But she said, here's another video, Irish slang words, helpful, love from Galway. So love from back here in Arizona. Thank you so much for your continued support. We're gonna be watching this video. It's called Irish Slang and Phrases by Wolf Mama. There should be a lot more slang words because a lot of you guys said it was more regional last time. But before that,
we want to say thank you to JC, who just became a member of the channel. So thank you so much. And for those of you who would like to help us out and support us, it would be $3 a month. If not, you can always subscribe and like, and that would also help us out a lot.
All right, let's hop into this video.
The first one is crack.
All right, right off the bat, just that spelling, I don't think we would have pronounced it that way.
I was gonna say like crake.
Yeah, crake is how it looks like we'd say it. Let's see what it means though.
Or gossip or good times. So if you said to someone, what's the crack? You're asking them, what's going on with you? Is there any gossip? But you could also use it about someone. So you could say, was he any crack? No, he was no crack. That means he was boring. Or, oh yeah, he was great crack. And a common phrase with this is any crack. And that means, you know, if your friends are out at a party and you're kind of thinking of going out, but you want to know, is it any good? Are you having fun? You'd say, any crack?
Right off the bat, that sounds so funny for us as Americans. If you were talking about a party and you said any crack, you guys might know that that means something totally different here. You'd be asking about a drug, so it'd be a specific type of party. One that we've never attended, so we've never asked anybody if there's any crack. But that's a cool term. It definitely means a lot different over there than it does here.
Oh yeah, there's great crack come out. And I know any crack, if you use it in other places outside of Ireland, it's asking for something totally differently. But in Ireland, it just means any fun.
All right, we're gonna skip the ones that we've seen already. So this is one of those. We get what that one is. We did see your one, your man. But yeah, if you ask somebody about their man in the US and said your man, they would think you're talking about their husband or boyfriend or think you're alluding to that.
The next one is story. And that basically means what's up. So you could say, what's the story with your man over there? Means what's going on with that guy over there.
That's pretty much the same here.
Yeah.
You could say, what's the story with this? What's the story with that?
And also people have shortened it to just story. And people can say, nah, no story.
No one really says just story here, but everybody does. Not everybody, but people do say, what's the story with something here?
Yeah.
I've probably used that before, honestly.
The next one is sound, and that means all right or cool. So if you're talking about someone and you say, oh, he's a sound guy, that means he's a cool guy.
That one's not super typical here, but it is used.
I have heard that one here.
Definitely in that same context too, like he's a sound person, he's cool, he's all right.
Stop the lights, and it means don't be dramatic or I can't handle this. So stop the lights. If someone is over dramatizing a story, you can say, stop the lights, you were not nearly killed, you grazed your elbow. Stop the lights, I never said that.
I've never heard that one, but I kind of like that one.
I like it too. We definitely have some stuff that's similar, like,
I think we just say, come on.
come on, man, or like, stop being dramatic. I'm sure there's a phrase here that's way more similar than what we're thinking of. We can't think of it right now, but we've heard something similar, but we don't use stop the lights, although that does sound cool.
The next one is leave it out, and that just means stop. Leave it out is a little bit more serious, like if two people are fighting, you'd say leave it out, stop fighting, sort out your issues.
Just kind of sounds like cut it out.
Or I've also heard people say leave it be.
Yeah, leave it be, cut it out, kind of similar there. Makes sense to us, but we don't say leave it out though, unless we're talking about like the trash.
The next one is cop on, and that means stop acting stupid. So a common phrase would be, would you ever cop on to yourself? And that means basically, would you ever stop acting stupid and start being yourself again?
That's another one of those ones where I've never heard anybody say here. That's definitely very Irish. I've never heard anybody say cop on.
I would think they're talking about like there's a cop nearby and
Yeah.
they're here or something.
Some type of like weird way of saying that it's a speed trap.
Basically, what you said is just stupid. Cop on.
What we've noticed so far is you guys have a lot of like very like kind of slagging type terms, like where you're kind of going at somebody, cop on, calling somebody stupid, Egypt, calling somebody a kind of a lighthearted idiot. It's very funny. Definitely a very, not aggressive, but like kind of like teasing language you guys have.
So feck is the
Okay, she's about to say it's the PCF word. We pretty much got that vibe when we were in the Dublin gift shops. It is very funny because it's only one letter change, but it totally changes the way it sounds. I don't even feel like I need to censor that at all, saying feck.
Feck.
It just sounds funny. But if I say the other one, then it sounds very harsh. So it is a really cool way that you guys have of kind of skirting around the F word.
So I wouldn't use the F word in front of my parents, but I'd use feck because feck is kind of, it's not really a swear word. Or
it sounds funny. It's definitely a good way of like kind of getting the point across, but still remaining a little silly. That was a good point she made, that if she was just dropping F bombs in front of her parents, it would have a totally different vibe than if she said feck. I don't know if we have like a one that replaces the F word, you know?
Frick.
Frick. That sounds like dumb though.
What the frick? What the freak?
That's like band kid type.
the next one is gargle, and that means drink, like an alcoholic drink. So I think outside of Ireland, gargle would mean, you know, you gargle with mouthwash down your throat, but in Ireland it would usually mean drink. You could just say a few gargles, and that basically means you want to go out for some drinks. And gargled can also mean drunk. So if you say, oh, he was gargled last night, it means he was drunk last night.
Could you say, I'm just like being silly here, but he gargled the gargle which made him gargled?
The next one is bleeding, and this also exaggerates the word that follows it. So it's kind of similar to feckin', except, as I said, there might be a little bit of a swear word with feckin', whereas bleeding is not a swear word at all. So if you said someone was bleeding gargled, they weren't just drunk, they were bleeding gargled.
Like very.
That kind of sounds gross.
The next word is Jesus, and it means Jesus.
We've seen you guys use that before.
Basically, you wouldn't use it as like if you're talking about baby Jesus or God and Jesus. That's always Jesus. You'd never use Jesus for that. It's more kind of like the slang. When Jesus is used as a slang word in Ireland, it's Jesus. So Jesus, I was gargled last night.
That makes sense to us. We've seen it before. Something probably similar here. You guys probably use it too, but geez, I think that probably comes from saying Jesus Christ as well in that sort of sentence. Like, Jesus Christ, you go, geez Louise.
Next up is dope, which means dopey or acting stupid. So someone can either be a dope or act like a dope. So you could say, he's a dope, don't listen to him, don't ever pay attention to what he says.
I think older people might use it in that context. Obviously, younger people don't.
So in America, dope can mean two different things. One, it can mean drugs. And two, it can mean like cool. If I were to tell someone, I just got back from Ireland, and they said, that's a dope. I said, that means that's cool.
Very, very young, a younger person would say that. I definitely can't picture anybody after a certain age saying it like that. 20 to 30-year-olds, though, I could definitely picture saying, yeah, man, that's dope.
The next one is out of his head, and that usually means drunk or drugged up in a bad way. So if you get so drunk that you're out of your head, that means that you're not acting like yourself and you've lost your senses. So you could say, she's out of her head, don't listen to her because that's not her. You say, oh, I was out of my head last night.
I think that would kind of mean like somebody's crazy. Like they're out of their head.
Yeah, out of their head, out of their mind. We definitely have terms that kind of mean what she's saying. We'd probably say out of it. They were out of it.
Locked, and that means drunk. I'm realizing, as I'm saying these, I'm realizing a lot of them are very related to alcohol.
It's the stereotype. Locked, we saw in our comments, somebody asked us if we knew what it meant. They gave us an example or two examples. They said, sorry, I was locked last night, so I couldn't do much, or I couldn't make it out. And the other one was like, I was locked all weekend. So I said, I think it either has to be you're busy or you were drunk, like messed up, you couldn't do it. And he said, bingo, it means drunk.
Fair play, and that means well done. So you'd say to someone, wow, you made that, fair play, that's really good. Or, oh, the team won the match, fair play, that was a good game.
I think in the game sense we use that, like we say fair play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't say it, but I've heard people say it to like teams, like fair play.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not commonly used here, but it is used sometimes. I've heard it before because of football or soccer. We might say more like bravo or just great job, good game, something more like that. GG's, yeah.
Thick, and it means stupid. So a common phrase is, he's as thick as a plank, and that means he's really stupid.
Have you heard that one before?
I'm not sure.
I haven't heard it here, but I've heard it online. Thick here is like now means somebody has a big butt. And it's usually spelled with two C's.
Gaff, and it means house. So, do you want to come over to the gaff means, do you want to come over to my house? Usually if someone says free gaff, that means party in mine. Yeah, gaff, house.
That last part sounded like Mike Tyson saying that there's free gas, but I don't know if we have a term like that. I've never heard gaff though. I think it might mean something else here.
Come to mi casa.
That's just Spanish. Crib is one.
Next up is kip, and it can either mean nap or a dirty place. So if you said, I'm going for a kip, that means I'm going for a nap. If you said his gaff is a kip, you're saying his house is a dirty place.
That one's funny that's such a close thing. Like nap and dirty place, it's two things you wouldn't want together, but it can be used as either or. I don't know if we have a word like that. I've never seen kip before.
The next one is wrecked, and similar to kip, it can mean one of two things. So it can either mean tired or exhausted, or it can mean messed up. So you could say, I'm wrecked, I need a kip. That means I'm exhausted, I need a nap.
I think I've seen wrecked before, but I'm not exactly sure.
I could definitely picture somebody saying that if they're tired, like, man, that wrecked me.
Yeah.
In a video game though, when we play in games like online, it means like you totally destroyed somebody. So if you were playing a shooter game or a basketball game against somebody, especially with, I think, among Gen Z and maybe some millennials, younger millennials, you say, man, I totally wrecked you.
Or get wrecked.
Get wrecked, that's a big one. Usually spelled R-E-K-T. And it's like an internet culture meme with younger people saying get wrecked, like you got destroyed.
Like you could say someone is wrecking your head, and that means they are annoying you.
I just want to pause it to say, it's very easy to understand, but it gets lost on us right away. Once Irish people or anybody from another country has their own slang and they start using more than one in the same sentence, that's where it's like, I feel like it's going in one ear and out the other. Like the his gaff is wrecked thing. If I heard that like just really fast in the middle of a sentence, I'd be like, what? What the heck is gaff being wrecked mean?
I will say when we went to Northern Ireland, we went to a restaurant and our server was talking way too fast and he had a very heavy accent. I could not understand him at all.
It's a trip, man, like hearing people speaking the language you speak, but it's like you have to concentrate crazy hard to understand it. It's such a bizarre moment. You're like, I've spoken this language my whole life and I'm having trouble trying to understand what somebody's saying in my native language. But we're learning, so hopefully we'll get there.
The next one is in bits, and it basically means not together. So if you're hungover, you'd say my head is in bits, and that means my head's all over the place. It could also mean if you're talking about someone and you say, oh, they were in bits, that means they were really upset about something, very emotional about.
That's one that we don't use here and wouldn't really use, but it makes total sense. Like I think we'd be able to get it if we heard it in a sentence.
Yeah.
And then the next one is eat the head off or ate the head off.
Sounds
and
bad.
That's one step above giving out. So if someone ate the head off someone, it basically means they humiliated them, yelled at them, screamed at them.
Unfortunately here, people would take that literally, and in states like Florida, I don't even think people would question it. Just kidding, they would question it, but that just sounds like a news headline in Florida. If somebody said, yeah, man, he really ate his head off last night, they'd be like, what was he on, bath salts or something?
Eat the head off you, that would be a very bad thing. The next one is donkey's years, and it means a long time. I haven't seen this person in donkey's years, but it's only for the past tense.
I think we'd say something more like, I haven't seen this person in forever.
In a fat minute, some people would say, in ages. I'm sure there's like really slangy ones that we can't think of right now. No one here says donkey's years, but that is kind of funny. That definitely sounds like one we could throw in the bag of slang we're learning. We actually had a shout out to Ronnie and Juliana. They watch our videos all the time. We're going to see them in Texas, and like I won't even be thinking about our video, and then we'll get a message from them like, you guys ready to get scuttered on 4th of July? So they're learning too. We're helping all our friends, and we just found out another friend's going to Ireland, so it's kind of this whole like big educational sphere we got going on here. So thank you guys. Class,
and that means good. So, oh, that show was class means that was a really good show.
That's up there with like brilliant, I think. We've heard it before. Like I remember watching a video where this guy had a funny celebration. Like he was doing a guy scoring a goal in soccer in slow-mo, and he like did it really perfectly, and you can hear somebody in the crowd go, hey, that's class, that's class. So I could tell what it meant.
I haven't heard this one.
Really?
Because I don't know what you're referencing, but I haven't seen that. So.
Oh shoot, I guess I just thought we both watched it. But I have heard it before. I used to watch like British YouTubers and a few Irish YouTubers, like a gamer named Dahi Denogla. So I learned some terms.
Actually, I have heard Joey say that's class, and I never knew what it meant. I was like, what is he saying?
The next one is up to 90, and that means really busy or chaotic. If you said, I've been up to 90 all day, that means I haven't sat down, I've been so busy. And it can also mean, if you said the crack was 90, that means that was the best fun, good time was...
That sounds bad here, because that sounds like you're trying to reference some purity level of it or something.
Amazing, it was up here, so you definitely want to go to a party where the crack is 90. So
yeah, that would mean a lot different here.
If we said these terms in Ireland and they know we're American, would they think we're making fun of them if we're just having fun?
I don't know. Some of these I definitely wouldn't even try to say because like last video, it would either come off like we're trying to mock or it would we just say it wrong, so we'd sound dumb. Up to 90 though, that's a cool one. Here, that's usually only used if you're talking about the weather. Like, man, it was so hot, it got up to 90 today. Really cool though. This one was a lot longer. I think this definitely covered a lot more. The last one was good too, but as some people said in the comments, it was more of a package deal. This one seems more like it covered kind of more of your guys' phrases throughout the country. Because a lot of you did say the last one seemed very Dublin-centric. So we don't know if that's the case or not. We're not from there, obviously, but we are learning here. What's something we could say? This video was up to 90, maybe?
I will say, I think my favorite one is Kip.
Kip's pretty good.
One.
And it can mean two different things. Let me scrub through the video real quick and look for one that I like. I do like Stop the Lights. Cool video though. We're learning here. We have to hear you guys talk to us in person probably to like kind of start making this fit in without sounding very rigid.
I think watching these videos is really cool because it's just learning how people talk in different countries and slang that's obviously not used here. I have heard some of these. A lot of them I haven't heard though. So I think it's just cool to hear them. So hopefully when we go back to Ireland, if anyone says any of these to us, we'll know what it means.
Shout out to Wolf Mama, shout out to Catherine, shout out to our channel members, and shout out to you guys for watching. It's been really fun, and we're glad to keep doing these. DM us or leave in the comments what you'd like to see. We're down to react to anything, whether it be Irish or not.
And if there's any games you want us to play, maybe a website or something, guessing game, something like that.
I'm gonna end it here. If you can read the sign behind us, we'd appreciate that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.